Look!
Today on the channel, we're looking at the fourth Dinobot in the Studio Series 86 subline, Dinobot Snarl, on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another Transformers the Movie Studio Series 86 review. This time we're looking at Snarl, the fourth of 5 Dinobots. So we've been getting our yearly dose of Dinobots since 2020 with the Grimlock release, and it continues every summer. We get a new Dinobot. We've got one left to get, Swoop, and here's Snarl. Picked him up at Hasbro Pulse when he was released, along with a bunch of other stuff that I've been reviewing of late. He is large and in charge, as you can see, and I've already removed him from the box. So we'll do like we normally do. Look at the packaging, look at the figure. I'll get him transformed. We'll check him out in both modes and get some final thoughts. We'll probably compare them, at least in robot mode, with the other so far released Dinobots as well. Alright, so starting with the packaging, we have got Snarl in the one scene that he even appears in Transformers the Movie. Most people seem to think that he doesn't appear in Transformers the Movie at all, but he does show up briefly in the scene when Galvatron attacks Autobot City and the Autobots realize they have to go to Cybertron to some kind of way stop Unicron. It's sort of a blink and you'll miss it kind of appearance, but he is there. He is 86.19, the 19th figure in the series, not counting core class. Transforms in 31 steps. Got him in both modes. Battle of Autobot City. And he's got the normal Autobot City battle background. You got a little blurb here. Snarl and the Autobots must find a way to destroy Unicron before Cybertron is devoured. And the usual words that they put on all of the Studio Series 86 boxes. And some nice artwork on the side. Alright, we're not going to keep focusing on the packaging though. We're going to get to the main event. Here is Snarl in robot mode. And of course, he does come with a sword. He is the sole character from the Dinobots in the cartoon to have a sword, and they gave him that sword in lieu of a gun or a firearm, whatever you want to call it. I like my Dinobots sort of, I think of them more having swords than not, due to the influence of the original toys. So I like that he has a sword, but I also want him to have a gun, like the rest of them. And I normally get upgrade kits so that they can have those. There's one being pre-ordered for Snarl right now on TF Safari. At some point, perhaps when all the Dinobots are completed, I'll show them with the upgrade kits. But as far as Snarl's appearance, looks like Snarl to me. weird little waist kind of thing here where you can see in between his waist, like space there. That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. But he does have waist swivel. He does have all the normal wrist articulation, bicep, nice ratchets. Nice knee rotation, knee movement. And of course he has ankle rockers. So you can get him in some fairly dynamic poses. Snarl is one of the more interesting of the Dinobots in a way. His Stegosaurus paddles are solar collectors. So when he's in direct sunlight, he can increase his strength tenfold, which sort of makes him like the strongest Dinobot, even stronger than Grimlock under certain circumstances. That's pretty cool. And he does pose. He poses well. Looks pretty cool like that. That's what I like him. He's good. So far. So we're gonna get him transformed. Let's take a look at his back first, but we'll get him transformed and see how he looks in Stegosaurus mode. Alright, so we've got Snarl in his Stegosaurus mode. Transformation wasn't too difficult. It was a little fidgety, like most modern Transformers figures, especially at the leader scale. There's a lot of tabs to keep them tabbed in. And there's a tab right here that's ornery underneath. But it's not really affecting it too badly. As you can see, it just wants to come out. But he is successfully transformed. And he looks, he looks passable, looks decent. He never really looked like a truly accurate Stegosaurus anyway. His tail's down here. And there you go. Of the other Dinobots, the thing about him that's a little bit different is the gold. He has gold. He has this yellow plastic, where the other Dinobots have painted gold details on them. So his gold isn't going to match directly where the plastic parts are concerned. To them, it looks a little bit different. But I didn't. One good thing for me is I didn't get the off-center Autobot symbol like a lot of people have been showing. Mine lines up pretty good. You can see there. And he looks cool. I'm not gonna really display him in dinosaur mode, but he looks good enough in dinosaur mode. And perhaps when Swoop finally does come out, when I do that video, I'll show them all together in dinosaur mode. But there you go. Not a whole lot to it. I don't know that there's really any actual direct storage for his sword. Didn't really see any in the instructions. Okay, no, he does have it. So you supposedly can store the sword. So you can store the sword. There's two little recesses right here in the sword, and then there are two little posts right there, and you can push it in there and just store a sword on the bottom. There you go. He's got his weapon storage. And his alt mode is a decent representation of the show, movie, whichever version you want to look at. There you go. No great shakes, but I wasn't really expecting great shakes from a Dinobot. They're not very accurate to whatever they transformed into, but they are beloved characters, and you know, it is a passable mode for Snarl. Alright, so I'll get him transformed back and compare him to his Dinobot brothers. Alright, so we got Snarl back in robot mode, and I'm going to bring in the Dinobots with them one at a time, because getting them all in the same frame is going to be exceedingly difficult. So first we will start with, Slag, Slug, whichever you want to call him. I call him Slag, that's his name. Then we'll bring in Sludge. These guys are big boys. Very tall. And then finally, we'll bring in Grimlock. So they're all around the same size. You know, there might be a centimeter or so between them here and there, but they're roughly all the same size, just like they were on the show and in the cartoon. And as they release the Dinobots, you know, you can kind of see the evolution of the design. Grimlock does look spot on. I do think his head's just a little bit small, but you know, it could be a little bit bigger when you consider how big Snarl's head is, or Sludge's head. They got kind of big heads. I'm gonna try, most likely fail, to get all four of them in the frame. So there you go, all four Dinobots together. And we've got one more to go. But this is Snarl's video. So I'm going to take everybody else out. And then get to final thoughts. All right, final thoughts on Studio Series 86.19 Dinobot Snarl. I really like this figure. I think they did a good job with him. I don't think he's perfect. Not anything with the transformation or the appearance of the figure or anything like that. But I do think that, you know, the yellow, the goldish plastic does sort of make him seem a little bit alien to the other ones, since they were very consistent in painting those gold parts rather than molding them in gold plastic. But, you know, obviously it was necessary to do. So it is what it is. He still looks, you know, pretty good with them. His alt mode is, you know, convincingly the same alt mode he had on the TV show, the old toy. There's nothing really, you know, off about it. So, you know, he's a very good representation of Snarl. He's a huge leader class figure. His ratchets work good. His joints work good. He has great articulation, poseability. I'm going to give him a 9. I think he's, I'm going to give him an 8. I think he's a pretty good figure. I think he could be a little bit better. Really, honestly, the biggest nitpick I have with the figure is the gold plastic. That's it. Honestly, other than that, he's pretty good. The Dinobots continue to be huge hits. They're huge hits for me. They're probably the most favored sub-faction in all of Transformers. And they do continue to knock it out of the park with these guys. So I'm going to give him an 8. I think it's a nice, solid rank for him. And I eagerly await our final Dinobot swoop next year. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for coming back. And you know, if you're not a subscriber, if you're sort of just watching the videos and, you know, not subscribing, please consider it. You know, we all want our channels to do well. And you know, subscribing is how you do that, mainly. But, you know, I'm not here to beg for subscribers or anything like that. But, you know, but I would like you to consider it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do have much more Transformers content coming up in August. And some of them have been sort of sitting on the back burner for a minute. But this is the Transformers first channel. I say it all the time. And so there will be more Transformers to come. Okay, well, I will see you guys on the next video. Once again, thanks for watching. Peace.
The way I got it figured.